I'm recording. Sorry about that. I'm recording it now. So for the sake of those, I apologize. So you know what? I'm going to do this real quickly all over again. So you guys are going to get a quick dose just for the benefit of those who may want to review this. But I'll share the screen so that individuals can have a visual, and then we'll go over the lesson again, the story again, for the benefit of those who are watching on the video. But again, look at the video. You see the elephant and the small chain. Again, as I recount the story for the sake of the video, for the sake of the recording, there are going to be a lot of little points that we're going to be able to pull out, and then the application we're going to be able to make to our own situations in our own lives. We see this massively large, massively strong elephant being held, by this small rope and just a stake in the ground. And the story then kind of gives us an idea as to why that happens. How is that even possible? And it says again, as a man was passing the elephants, he suddenly stopped, confused by the fact that these huge creatures were being held by only a small rope tied to their front leg. No chains, no cages. It was obvious that the elephants could at any time break away from their bonds, but for some reason they did not. He saw a trainer nearby and asked why these animals just stood there and made no attempt to get away. Well, the trainer said, when they're very young and much smaller, we use the same size rope to tie them, and at that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free. The man was amazed. These animals could at any time break free from their bonds, but because they believed they couldn't, they were stuck right where they were. Now, here's what I want you to do. In the chat box, I want you to share with me, what do you think the biggest reason, what's the biggest reason that the elephant couldn't break free as an adult elephant of that rope and that stake? Put in the chat box. What's your thought? Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm getting some answers here. Okay, all right. Yeah, all of you who said mind or mindset, you're exactly right. It wasn't the fact that the elephant wasn't physically able to do it. It was all in the elephant's mind. And it's a really simple explanation on this morning. There's so much potential on this phone. There's so much potential in each and every one of you. I'm seeing the names, Jason Garland. There's so much potential in Beatrice Adams. There's so much potential in Amy Ward. There's so much potential in Darrenese, so much potential in Ethan Clemens. I see Audrey Randolph. There's so much potential. But when you back out of it and look at yourself and look at all of the opportunities, look at all the gifts and talents God has placed in you. Look at all of the situations and opportunities God has blessed you with, all of the relationships. And, some of us, we're starting to get up in age now. We 35, 40, 45 plus, all of the years of equity God has allowed us to live. And how many of us can honestly say we have maximized our potential, that there's nothing holding us back? And many of the greatest things that could possibly have us going from good to great have nothing to do with other people. They have nothing to do with the physical limitation. It has everything to do with our mindset. We have limited ourselves. We have literally blocked our own blessings by limiting the fact that we have great potential instilled in each and every one of us. And so we're no worse than the elephant. We're adults now. And there are things, and that's why, as a father, as a younger father, I was very careful. And even now that my son, Brandon is 23, Haley is 19. And even as a father down to slightly older children, young adults, I'm still very conscientious of what I say to my children, because I've known about this story for a long time. And I remember, I think all of us, let's all go back to when we were children. And how many of us, again, don't give me the specifics, but how many of us can remember somebody saying something to us as children that even to this day still impacts us positively or negatively, right? I want you to put in the chat box, just yes or no, just a virtual raising of your hands. But if somebody has said something to you as a child, I'm talking 10 years or younger, that you still remember to this day, right? Yeah, I see all of these hands, right? Almost 100% of us Something has happened to each and every one of us as children. There were things that were told to me positively and negatively that impacted my life, that changed the whole, and some of it I had to overcome. Some of it I had to overcome, especially as an African-American male, right? Some things I didn't understand. There were some things that were done to me as a young child, not to my parents. Because see, my parents were always the voice of support. They were always the voice of optimism, but I had this one teacher. I was I think the program is called Gifted and Talented, right? In Atlanta. But I was in the gifted program as a child. When I was I grew up in an educational environment. I was literally born on a college campus. And so my parents were really big on education. And so when we moved from Texas to Georgia, my brother and I were really, really advanced. And so they skipped my brother, John, 2 grades. He went from like the 3rd grade to the 5th grade. And they put me in the gifted and talented program. I was slightly slower than my brother. And so, but I remember this teacher. She was amazing. I was with this same gifted and talented teacher for about 4 or 5 years. And I don't know how accurate or how much she believed what she was telling me, but whatever she said, I sure did believe. And I never will forget, I was probably 4th grade at this time. She literally told me, she said, Spencer, you can be whatever you want to be. She said, Spencer, you can be the president of the United States. As a 4th grader, blew my mind. I thought I was Superman and could fly. And even as an adult today, I never forgot the words of that teacher who told me that in that afternoon's class in front of the whole class, Spencer, you can be the president of the United States. Literally, it's never left me. It's never left. Now, I had no aspirations to be president. I had no aspirations to even get into politics, especially growing up, seeing how messy politics. But that one little gust of wind in my virtual cell of life has taken me so far. And I've had, now on the opposite end of the spectrum, I've had people who told me earlier that as a young Black man, look, there are only certain things that I can do. Spencer, you need to focus on physical labor. Well, honestly, that concept, I literally had someone tell me that concept was so foreign to me because it was offset by so much positive encouragement from my parents. It didn't even register in my brain. It literally didn't, right? But I'm oftentimes in grocery stores or in restaurants, and I'm listening to how some of these parents talk to some of these kids, and I'm in my mind, my heart is broken because I know that those words are going to have a negative impact for the rest of that child's life that will limit their ability to overcome some of the obstacles and objections that they're going to face just in life. That's why we have to be very careful about what we say. So with nobody will tell my daughter she's beautiful more than her daddy does. No man will, because I tell that every time I see her. Oh my gosh, I picked her up from school. My father, her grandfather, had knee replacement surgery last week, and so I've been spending a lot of time with him last week. And so I went and picked up Haley for a hair appointment, but on our way back in from Atlanta, from Athens, we stopped by so she could see her grandfather. And when I got her from school, I was just all excited, and oh, that's my princess, it's my princess. And hold on, my computer is acting like it has a mind of its own. There we go. I'm all excited, whatnot. Oh my gosh, you get prettier and prettier every time I see you. And she just blushes. But again, nobody's going to outlove my daughter, right? I'm always trying to tell and reinforce, even my son at 23, son, I'm just so proud of you, man. Gosh, I mean, you're just brilliant. I'm always trying to plant seeds of positivity in the minds and into the ears of my kids, because I always want them to, if nobody feels great about them, they will know their dad feels great about them, right? And those words of encouragement can help us, but so many times our limitations are not necessarily inflicted by other people. Our limitations are things that have happened in our mind. We're our biggest enemy, right? You've heard it said before that my greatest enemy is my inner me. My greatest enemy is my inner me, the person on the inside. Now, here's the thing, and we're going to look at some steps. We're going to look at about 10 to 12 things that we can do to help overcome, the things that are limited, the mental things that are limiting us, right? But, and the things I'm thinking about right now have nothing to do, right, they're separate from the 12 steps I'm going to share with you. But One of the things I know that limits a lot of people are the people that you hang around the most, are your surroundings, are those friends. You know, I just, it's, I am, oof, y'all have to understand, man. I'm very, yeah, I hear you, Iris. Encouragement is priceless. A positive word is priceless. I'm just very particular about who I allow in my inner circle. I just am. And it's not about being bougie. It's not about being conceited or no. It has nothing to do with that. Please do not misinterpret what I'm saying. I don't allow negative people in my life, in my circle. Once I find out that you're a negative person, you're pessimistic, all you want to do is gossip and talk about, look, I begin to quickly distance myself from you. Now, I will always be respectful. I'm always going to be cordial, but to let you in, quote unquote, in my life, nah, I can't have that. I can't have that, man. I won't allow that. You know why? Because people like that, they sow seeds of discord that will get Spencer Iverson off track of his goals. And I'll lose my focus and I'll start seeing obstacles, because obstacles are what you see when you lose your focus. I can't afford that right now in my life, right? You throwing focus, you throwing roadblocks in my life, and I can't afford that. And then when I look at your life, that's just completely in shambles. That's all you, it's like you wake up looking to sow discord amongst other people who trying to move forward and do something positive. Right? No, I can't have that. And I know that there's so many, but some people are so afraid to lose quote unquote friends. Really, this is your friend? This is your definition of friendship? Somebody who's not encouraging you, somebody who's not supportive of your business, somebody who won't at least listen to what it is that you have to say. That's a friend. Nah, that's not how I define. See, I have a different definition of friendship. I have a different definition of friendship, right? But I also understand the person who wants friends must first show himself friendly. So I try to be a great friend. I mean, people who I do consider friends, they know that there is nothing Spencer Iverson will not do for a real friend, right? But I do admit, I do expect some reciprocity, because I go out of my way to show myself friendly. Let's look at some steps. Let's look at some steps. We are going to look at some steps as to how can we overcome these mental barriers, right? We're gonna look at 12 things, right? We're gonna look at 12 things on 12 ways. And if you're taking notes or if you wanna revisit this later, you can maybe write some of these down. The first thing is have a crystal clear vision of your future, right? If I turn to my left, next to the kitchen area, I have my vision board. And every time I walk out, it's like the University of Michigan football players. When they come out of that tunnel to go to the game, to go into the field, they hit the top of the board and hit this big old M, right? You know, when I walk out of the house every day, I tap my my vision board as a reminder, as a reminder of the connection that I have between myself and my goals. Right? I don't want to just imagine. I want to be able to visualize. That's why you've seen pictures of me going deep sea fishing in Puerto Vallarta. That's why I've shared with you all that in July I'm going to Scotland for a week with one of our travel vendors. Why? Because it's on my bucket list to play some of the world's greatest golf courses. The world's first golf courses are in Scotland. So I'm playing St. Andrews and Carnoustie and Kingsbarn. Why? Because of I'm manifesting the things that I see. How many of you all have even created a vision board? How many of you all have a crystal clear vision of what it is that you want to accomplish, not just right now, but for your future, right? Because when you have a crystal clear vision for your future, it becomes easier to overcome the mental barriers or the things that can sidetrack you from your goals. Number two, never complain about anything that is out of your control. Oh, that's so good. I could spend an entire hour on this one. Never complain about anything that is out of your control. I have become very good at this one. I have to admit, I've become very good at this one. There are certain things in my life. There are many things in my life that are out of my control. And so some people think that, oh man, he's heartless, he's cold. No, I just don't have no control over how you perceive me, right? It's not my job in life to go through life trying to make you like me. Right? That's a lot of people's problem. They try to have everybody like them. Listen, I'm at an age where if you rock with me, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Just don't get in my way. Right? But I'm not going to try to have everybody like me. Man, when I post something on social media, I could care less how many likes I get. There's some people who literally have come up to me in programs and speeches I've done or seminars I've done. Mr. Iverson, you never like any of my posts. Listen, I'm barely on. You lucky I'm on social media. I do this out of necessity. Good Lord, right? But I found out some people that's a big deal to them, right? I'm not living my life to be liked. Number one, I'm living my life to be an example to other people. And let me share this with you. there's some really evil things happening in this world, right? I was with my dad, who's a preacher, and we were talking as I was helping him with some rehab stuff this past week. We're just talking about just life and things that would come up on the news. I don't watch the news, but my dad does. So stuff will come on. For example, the stuff that's happening over in Russia, in the Ukraine, just a tragedy over one man's ambition. And I told Dad, I see, Dad, this is why Spencer Iverson can't go to hell, right? First of all, I wasn't invited. First of all, I wasn't invited. What does that mean? The Bible says that the devil, that hell was prepared for the devil and his angels. So I didn't get that invitation. So I'm not supposed to be there to begin with, right? But I'm trying to live my life in such a way because that's the place that's prepared for the Putins of the world. So I can't go there, right? Besides the point. The point is that I don't live my life and I don't worry about things that I have no control over. So one of the things I have no control over is how other people perceive, or if they like. I don't care. Sometimes anybody have anybody in your life, it seems like no matter what you do, how much good you do, they're still negative towards you? Just put a 7 in the chat box. If you got somebody in your life that no matter how much good you do, how much positive you speak into their life, how cordial you are, they still find a way to be negative towards you, right? That is out of my control. That's out of your control. But somebody will let somebody like that ruin your day or sidetrack you from your goals because they got the problem. You know how much energy it takes to be negative? It takes a lot of energy to be negative all the time, right? So I'm encouraging each of us to begin to practice better the notion of not worrying about things that are for example, there are a lot of things I have to let God take care of, right? But I also understand that there are certain things that God knows I need to take care of. For example, I'll give you this illustration. See, God will give you the tree, but he won't give you the chair. Ooh, that's some good stuff. Follow what I just said. God will give you the tree, but he won't give you the chair. See, the tree is something that God has control over from nature. But you got to go and then cut the tree down, go through the refining process, have a vision for what you want your chair to look like, and do the work to make the chair. See, God's not going to do the work for you. He's going to give you the resources, but you got to go do the work. See, the problem is a lot of us just don't want to do the work, right? We just don't want to do the work. We want instant success, instant everything. No, I have control over the effort that I put into every single project. And if I ever get down on myself, it's not because of what somebody else said or what somebody else did. I get down on Spencer Iverson when something has happened that I didn't maximize that was in my control, right? It was in my, Spencer, you could have worked harder. Spencer, you could have done better. You could have done more. That's when I get down on myself. But when I know I've done all I could do, and I've been the best version of Spencer Iverson that I can be, I leave the rest up to God, right? It's my job just to plant. Let God give the increase in different aspects of my life. That's number 2. So don't worry about things that are outside of your control. Number 3, learn something new every day, right? Learn something new every day. Challenge yourself. Read, watch an instructional video on YouTube. Try to expand, start learning a new language, but just challenge your mind by learning something new every day. Again, we're talking about how to overcome some of the mental obstacles that are holding you back. Number 4, exercise daily as it unlocks excellent ideas and creativity. Guys, listen, I'm a huge advocate for exercising. Everybody in the office in Atlanta knows this. They know I literally get frustrated when I walk in the office and, somebody brings in a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, who brought the donuts in? Tanya Magellan's probably going to laugh at this. Who brought the donuts in today? First of all, they're not even quality donuts, right? Anyway, but listen, I'm really big on health, right? Wealth without your health is useless, right? What good is having a whole bunch of money, but you're always going to the doctor, or you're in the hospital, or you're on a whole bunch of medications, right? So practice, start right now. Just start. I'm going to walk around my block, right? You have to go join a gym. Look, take baby steps with it. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to do 3 push-ups today. You got to start. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step, but exercising, eating right is massively important because one of the benefits is it helps you unlock your creativity. Number 5, give away things that you want more of. Oh, this is so good. This is a biblical principle. If you want more money, give more money away, right? Some of the biggest philanthropists in the world are multimillionaires. They give, there's a society, I should have looked this up. There's a society right now of uber wealthy individuals, right? And you may have heard of this before. I'm talking about the Bill Gates of the world, the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezoses of the world. There's a society of billionaires who've made a pledge that upon their death to give away over 90% of their wealth, right? They've made that pledge. Like, listen, I can't take it with me. And so they're in the process, they're constantly in the process of finding charities and foundations and other philanthropic institutions to which they can give their money, because they've literally made a pledge that we as a collective unit, before we die, and even in our estate, we plan on giving over 90% of. They understand the principle. If I want more money, then I make plans to give more money away. Now, listen, some of us not in a position to do that one, right? Okay, I made 3,000 this week. I'm gonna give away for no. Look, take baby steps. Take baby steps on that one, right? So make sure you're using this information responsibly, right? Number 6, don't be cheap on your journey for success. It says, if you're going to give out cheap quality work and low emotions to others, don't expect anything significant in return. See, great things only come to those who believe in doing great for other people. I love this one, right? Don't be cheap on your journey. Don't shortchange people, right? Like as I was kind of mentioning earlier, I try to be not just a good friend, not just an okay friend. I try to be a great friend. But you know what? I expect that in return. Number 7, practice the power of simplicity. This is important. Practice the power of simplicity. I try to live a very simple life. When I say simple, I am equating simple with uncomplicated. I don't need a whole bunch of moving parts going on in my life. I just don't. Even in the formation of our business, when we were laying the foundation of the business, I talked to my partners, Mark and Jonathan. I said, guys, whatever we do, we got to keep it simple. And we ain't gonna have a whole bunch of this and that and 12,000 products. And look, we do travel. That's what we do. And I've noticed that some of the biggest scalable companies in history had a very simple model. Right? And if you want to start decluttering your life, start getting rid of some of the riffraff that's in your life. Right? I'm gonna say that again. If you want to start decluttering your life, start getting rid of some of the riffraff that's in your life. I don't keep a lot of riffraff going. I don't like gossip. I don't like a bunch of folks talking about folks. And I keep riffraff. I try to keep riffraff out of my life, even with family stuff. Oh man, Smith, guess what? You heard about Cousin Rick? No, I ain't heard about Cousin Rick. Is he okay? Oh, he no, okay. Well, if he okay, then cool. Because I don't want to get caught up in no riffraff, man. Because you start letting that stuff accumulate again, it becomes an obstacle where it causes you to lose your focus. And remember, obstacles are what you see when you lose your. Spencer Iverson, I got to stay focused. I have to stay focused. So don't shortchange your goals and don't be cheap with your goals. Now, number 8, strive to achieve excellence. And oh, this is so good. Strive to achieve excellence in everything you do, right? Even if it's something simple. Right? Set a high standard for yourself. Again, I'm so glad that Tanya Mazel Joseph's on the line and friends like Roderick and Jennifer, because I'm not saying I'm successful at doing this all the time, but God knows it is my intent, right? Tanya would tell you that even when it comes to like PowerPoint presentations and how we as a company hold ourselves out to the public, I don't like seeing just something thrown together. You know why? Because that's a reflection of our company. That's a reflection on me. That's a reflection on us as a unit, right? We have to strive for excellence in everything we do. I tell my kids this: don't be okay being okay, because then you'll get okay results. Who wants okay results? Man, how you do that? Man, I did okay. Oh, who wants to be okay? Man, strive for excellence, right? So again, these are things that can help us relieve ourselves from the small shackles that's holding us back from achieving greatness in our lives, the greatness that's already in you. Number 9. This is good. Don't be busy, be useful, efficient, and productive. Don't be busy. Again, I could do a whole hour on this one. Don't be busy, be useful, efficient, and productive. I would tell people, and oftentimes in a home-based context, that don't confuse activity with productivity. Write that down. Don't confuse activity with productivity, right? Activity is just busy work. But when you really look at the data, were you really productive, right? Don't confuse it. I wish I could drill down more on that, but we're out of time. Let me give you the last two. Take responsibility for everything. Take responsibility for everything. I guess, again, I wish I had more time to drill down on that one. 11, never ask or expect anyone to do something you're not willing to do. Right? Oh, this is so big. Right? I'm gonna ask for an extra minute today, y'all. Don't ask or expect anyone to do something you're not willing to do. I'll use the example for the company. Right? I can't ask you all to do a vision board if the CEO hadn't done a vision board. How hypocritical is that? No, I did a vision board, so now I am 100% qualified to hold somebody else accountable for doing a vision board. I know the impact that it can have, right? Don't ask somebody to show up for a meeting you're never on. Don't ask people to come to an event you never go to. You be the example. Number 12, success is your responsibility. Finally, number 12, success is your responsibility. It's not your husband's responsibility. It's not your team's responsibility. It's not your children's responsibility. It's yours. And at the end of the day, everything comes back to you, Spencer Iverson. It comes back to you. That's why I try to eliminate a lot of excuses, because Spencer, it's you. It's not your partner. It's not the team. It's not the company. It's not the compensation plan. Spencer, it's you. If you want it, you got to get your butt out of the door, out of the bed, and go get it every single day. The one thing that separates the great people from the good people is the amount of work they put in every single day, because I've been around great people in my life. I've been around great professional athletes who make millions of dollars, and I'll go with them now and we're hanging out. And you know what? They still get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Even on days we're going to hang out. You know why? Because they understand they're on a $24 million contract. And the thing that made them great was getting up at 4 o'clock when most people are on a second or third turn in their bed. They're eating differently. They're working out frequently. They're reading their playbook. So when it comes game time, they can perform in front of millions of people. That's their expectation. They've separated themselves, not necessarily solely because of their physical gifts, because of the work ethic they put in. Understand this, that in your success journey, what you're not doing, somebody else in the world is. So if you're out building or you're not talking to somebody, no problem. That's okay, because somebody somewhere else is. They're just outworking you. They're talking to more people. They're putting in more work. And you know what? They're getting more results. So guys, listen, again, I'm sorry we're a couple of minutes over, but we've talked about the mindset today is what is holding many of us back. It's nothing physical. It's nothing enormous. It's all inside of us. And it's something that we can absolutely positively overcome. Let's go to God in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for always just waking us up. May we never take this for granted, this gift of life that you've given to us. We thank you for every family and person that's represented on this call. We thank you for this opportunity that we have just to come to you, share a few words of encouragement, and have them in a perspective where we can always see you in our lives and through our lives. Forgive us of those things we've done wrong, things that we may have done knowingly or unknowingly. Bless those who are traveling or will be traveling. I thank you for my dad's successful knee replacement surgery. Continue to help him to regain his strength. Thank you for where we ask for continued prayers for Brittany King's dad. That's our office manager. Please restore him back to his normal and needed health and strength. And on today, we ask that you help us to remove the mental shackles that are holding each of us back from achieving greatness, the greatness that you have instilled in us, the gifts and the skills and the talents you've instilled in all of us. May we maximize those gifts. May we be good stewards of those gifts, knowing that, Lord, if we don't use them, we can lose them. May we not allow others to impact us. May we have more control. May we not worry about things that are outside of our control. You have told us to give all of our cares to you and and for you to handle those. So Lord, we just ask that you give us that wisdom, give us that spirit of encouragement and enthusiasm. May we be an example to others. Lord, we love you and we thank you. It's in your son, Jesus Christ's name that we pray. Amen. All right. Well, guys, good. I am 4 minutes over and I am so sorry. I'll try to finish 4 minutes early on next Monday, as I robbed you all of 4 minutes of your time. But have an amazing day. Hopefully that you all can remember some of these things. I know it was a lot of content today, but just take one or two. Don't try to eat all of this. Just take one or two. But remember, that big elephant is being held by this one stake in the ground, this little rope, not because it can't break free physically. It won't break free mentally. Don't let that be you. Take care, guys. We'll hear from you next time. Bye-bye.